Hey everybody, it's JJamJim. Welcome back to the next episode of City Skylines in Vanilla Valley, here in our tutorial slash Build It Beautiful series. The very first episode came out, man, over a week ago. Was it 2 weeks ago now? Ugh, I'm sorry for that, but I had been gone. I was in Seattle for the past week, celebrating my first year anniversary with my wife. So we were gone, and I wasn't able to get another video out. But expect these videos once a week on Wednesdays at 5. That is when I plan to get these episodes out to you once a week, just exploring City Skylines and enjoying the ride. So first things first we have to do in this episode, upon going back and rewatching the first episode, it is very clear we need to do some very serious changes here. One being getting rid of this industrial, right? Because this is all a mess. We don't have trash. We're now starting to need trash services. We're also starting to need education services, and we will also need to get medical services as well. We do not have enough money, unfortunately, for this right now. But what I think we need to do with this money that we have, this little bit of money, is rebuild our little area here. Not go crazy with it. We don't need to go nuts, but builds a little bit. I'm actually going to move this a little further down because I anticipate this is going to be an intersection of some sort, and we are going to have lots of trucks, right? So I want to make sure that we have some space there like we had talked about last time. I will give them one more room there. I may put a pathway in between, which might look really nice. So let's just go 3 out for now. Let's make sure that this should be all watered. Yeah. I am going to expand the water out as well. See, we've spent almost all of our money already, which is not good. But we do have a very high industrial demand, as you can see. So once we dezone this, we should get a lot of this in here, and industrial does pay a lot in taxes, which I believe at the end of we already fixed that, so we should be good there. Let's zone this. We're also listening to a new station. I figured we'd listen to a different station. We'd cycle through some of the cool stations that we have in City Skylines. Right now, this is the concerts station, and this came with the concerts DLC that you can get. I believe it was only a $5 DLC, but it's a pretty cool little DLC, and we'll explore some of that later on. I am going to zone all of this. We're going to let it run. I'm going to make sure that we have power getting across there. We do need to place a dump, which we can't even afford the dump at this point because it is $4 grand. But the hope is that these guys will dezone over here, and then these will start popping up immediately. And that will be great. And then as soon as they go over here, I'm going to do this. Save a little bit of cash. Getting that back. We should start making some more money now. We can get rid of these guys. So now we've gotten rid of our industrial there. We have polluted the ground a little bit. As you can see, there is a little bit of that pollution there, but that will go away over time. So now that we have qualmed some of that industrial, we are starting to see some more demand for residential and commercial. But the first thing we need to do is get a landfill down. Now, once you place a landfill and it has any amount of trash in it, you cannot move it or destroy it. You have to be able to empty it. And the only way to empty it is to either have another landfill to pass the garbage off to, or you have to have an incineration plant. But we won't unlock that until we hit 5,500 people. Apparently we have the recycling center right away, but it is very expensive. 240 a week, 16 grand. It is a greener option, though, and we will change to that later on. But for now, the landfill is very cheap and very affordable. So let's do the landfill right... I'm actually going to do it right there. And as you can see, this is the radius here, and you can see that little purple toxic barrel down at the bottom. that shows the radius at which it will pollute. So as you can see, that is a very, very wide radius. So I definitely don't want to be placing that near, well, definitely avoid commercial if you can, but absolutely not for residential. So we are having some garbage problems and also some power issues. So let's do some more residential real quick, because we have a high demand for that. And then once we start getting a little bit more, can we take loans now? We can actually. I'm going to take this $20,000 loan. We'll unlock the 2 loans later. Right now we'll unlock that loan so we can get some more power in here. And I think, oh boy, we're doing pretty poorly. But you know what? I think that's actually a good thing. Because like I said, we're literally learning by doing right now. This is literally trial by fire, and we are in it. Yeah, let's go right there with that, and that should be enough to support the rest of these citizens here. Yeah. Very good. Trash is being picked up. You can see when you are in the trash menu, you can see all the trash vans in purple. It's helpful to show you like where they are and what they're covering and all that jazz, so that's good. So the citizens are relatively happy, but they will start getting sick very soon. So let's get a medical clinic up. As you can see, we don't have any medical coverage, right? It's displaying in the green there. So when we put it on, it shows you how much the coverage is. I'm going to put that right here. All the smiley faces from our friends. And then we need to get a school is the last thing. But that is 10 grand as well. And we're slowly getting money. We are seeing a demand for commercial, so let's start zoning a little bit of that. I could move some of this commercial over to here, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. In fact, let's put another little corner store right here, 3x3 here. Yeah. I think we'll zone the rest of this as residential. You know what I might do through here? This is kind of what I like to do sometimes. I'm going to do this, right? And then I'm going to put another little corner store. Oh, we don't have the parks yet. Okay, well, we'll get there. But what I like to do sometimes when separating residential and commercial is put a walking path between them. Just to sort of separate them a little bit. So they're not like back to back on each other. This is a little steep. And as you can see, we will run into some parking lots that are a little wonky, but you know what? That's okay. It's not a perfect system, and if I was doing this on another thing, oh, here we go. We got a worthy village. But let me talk about what I was going to say first. I would normally do a little bit of terraforming there, but for the purposes of this playthrough, I'm not going to do a lot of terraforming. I may do just a smidge. And I'll talk through some terraforming stuff, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of it, especially for some instances like that. If it's very, very drastic and I need to do a little bit to squeeze in something, I will. But and I'll show you that a little bit later on. But we've hit our next milestone, so we do get our very first piece of land to purchase. So that's cool. We also have districts opened up, some policies, our second loan, emergency services for fire, and then our police department, and unique buildings. A lot of stuff. So that means we unlock the firehouse and the police station. So some new policies there. This is part of the Green Cities DLC. Self-sufficient buildings, which maybe we'll actually transfer some of this. I don't know. Or maybe we'll build a neighborhood with that in it as well. Then we also get some specialization for forestry and agriculture, which I also like to do. I don't prefer to have generic industry. So this is generic industry right now. These are just factories, you know, pumping oil, making stuff. I don't know, whatever they're making here. Ready to wear limited, I don't know, clothing, I guess. Ice cube factories, that's a fun one. Frank's fish stick factory, yeah, that's pretty classic. But I generally do like to have specific types of industry like forestry or agriculture. Eventually we'll unlock ore and oil. just because it makes them a little bit different and varies it up. Plus, the farming and forestry are green, so they do not pollute. Because the pollution is nasty stuff. I wouldn't want to live around this either. Okay. So we're doing pretty well. We're not making a whole lot of money. I would say that if you're making about $3,000 to $4,000 per week, that is our weekly income, as you can see. I would say generally making $3,000 to $4,000 in your weekly income is a pretty healthy budget. That is nice. Ideally, you're making more than that, and maybe a lot more than that, but for starting out, that's kind of what you want to hit. So we're not quite there yet, and now we have a dramatic need for residences. So we have more room here. So let's put some more in. Let's do it all along here as well. I'm actually gonna get rid of that rock. There we go. Let's do some here as well, and then let's fill that with some commercial. There we go. That should be good for now. So we can take a look at the tile we want to buy. However, I don't think we're ready to buy one just yet. I don't think we need to do that. We could buy this one and have access to this highway. But I don't know if that's quite necessary yet. So let's just stick without it. However, we do need to put in our first fire department in the city. Now, fire departments, you want to... I think we're going to put down 2 of them. One for our residential area. I'm just going to plop one right there. And how much are these? 12. And then police department is also 12. Okay. Because fire can run rampant through industrial areas. So you definitely want to have one over here. And I think it's okay to put one right next to there. So we're down to 7 grand, but we are making some money, and people are a lot happier because of this. We're running short of power again as well. I think we'll pop down one more turbine, and then we probably will move to coal or oil. Oh, we haven't unlocked oil yet. We unlock oil at 3,600 people. Got it. And we're almost to our next milestone as well. We are getting a massive boost to our population, so we're going to probably hit that milestone pretty quickly here. I really should make these roads not dead ends. There we go. I can even sneak in a little more. Cool. Sometimes I will make industrial areas, and maybe we'll do this later when we start expanding. Right now we are in, you know, we're working through the milestones. We're making sure we have enough money. We're making sure our budget is healthy, all of that stuff. But later on, we'll probably end up making some more industrial areas that don't actually zone on the avenues, and I'll show you kind of how I do that. So in the economy tab, you can set your budget. Now, we're not using the day-night cycle while we build, just because it's very hard to build at night, and especially when it's in a video, it's not ideal. But we could set our budgets. So if I was to build a massive power plant, right, and our electricity availability was off the charts, right? Let's say we were using 21 watts, but I had 160 available. I could tune the budget to say I only want to spend, you know, 80% of my budget, which would lower my budget, and I would still have enough availability, and then I could move it to 100 when I needed that energy later, as I increase the size of the city. All right, we've hit Tiny Town. Now we get parks, which would be great. Landscaping, some event policies, some new services. But the services are just unique buildings, football, and our concerts that we were talking about earlier. A lot of policies. We can go through some of those policies later. Our new roads. All of these paths come with the Park Life DLC, which is definitely a recommend. It's brand new. Came out, not that long ago at all. It has a bunch of brand new paths, and we'll make some cool parks. Also, some new canals, quays, flood walls. It also comes with some fences, which are great, and we get access to all of our parks. Lovely loveliness. So we haven't unlocked any actual services, which is good, but we do need to still put down an elementary school, because we do not have one yet. So we also need to put down a high school. Oh, did we unlock high school? Or did we unlock that with Tiny Town? Or did we unlock that before that? Oh, here we go. I totally missed that. We unlocked the high school with this as well. Okay, there you go. So let's put down the high school, or the elementary school, rather. Because as you can see, we got a little boost by hitting that milestone. So we got a little boost to cash. I also like to... I'm going to put it there. Yeah. I'm going to put it there. I also like to put... Now that we have access to parks, I like to put a small playground. Of course, it doesn't quite fit there. That's okay. I'll put it right next to it. I like to put a playground right next to the elementary school because I think it fits. I know there's a playground that is on the asset already, but I think it's nice to just sort of have another little green space. I know we killed some houses, but that's okay. And if you wanted, now that we have paths available, I am going to put a path through here. I don't know how it's going to look, though, because of the waviness of the terrain. That's not bad, though. It's a little wavy, but look at this. See, this guy's using it already, and it just kind of, it divides them really, really nicely. And we can even put in some fences and stuff. Let's see. Can we put a little fence in there, maybe? A park fence. Now, I'm going to turn off snapping. Snapping guidelines are over here. I'm going to turn off all of the snapping because when you're building the new fences with the Park Life DLC, it is very hard to do with the snapping. And let's see if I can avoid getting rid of... I can. I shouldn't be able to get rid of any of this. Let's place it. There. Now we have a little bit of a divide. The fence isn't perfect with the terrain, but it does follow it generally as well as it can, which is pretty good. But now we have a little bit of more of a divider, right? You know, your fence out your backyard, and then you can walk onto the... although we probably should have it on the other side if we're doing this right. So let's see. Maybe we can do it on the right. There we go. Okay. Now we have a little path that's sort of secluded, and you know, you can walk right through and cut through. Be safe about it. It's very nice. Look at all these people using this path. How great. How great is that? Cool. All right. So, just a little bit of that there. We are running out of energy. Yeah. How much does this cost? 19 grand. Well, let's put down... we are running out of space, in fact. I have a little bit more room for this. So let's put down a little bit more of the commercial. We also have some crime problems, and that's probably because I haven't put down a police station yet. My goodness. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, for now, let's just put down another wind turbine. There we go. That will give us just enough for now. There we go. Yeah, see, it just jumped to 32, so we're just barely floating above the line, which isn't great. And then we're going to need a couple more grand. I'm going to put this on 2 speed so we can get some more money in here. we do have still a lot of demand for residential, so I think we're going to have to expand to the other side of the road and build some more residential over here. Yeah, see, the demand is just through the roof, but I do really need to get down a police station. There we go. We just hit our 12K. Let's go right here. There we go. Everyone's happy. Now the police officers will go and pick up the criminals. You passed the house. Okay. Arrest them. Cops will go in. They'll arrest whoever. I don't know what happened here, what the altercation was, but it is solved. There we go. And they should be able to get over here. It's not going to be... Yeah, it's okay. They'll reach-ish. There they go. A couple cop cars are headed over this way. There's problems at the dump. Lots of crime at the dump. You know, people picking out trash and things. You don't want that. Okay. Great. We don't have a ton of money. But let's see if we can... Oh, snapping is still off. Let's get that back on. Now we have the water here. And I think I'm going to say let's kind of wrap... I don't want to get too close to the water's edge, because I maybe want to put like a path or something. But we don't have enough money. Great. So, yeah, what I may want to put a walking path along the river or do some other things that way. This poor tree. What are you doing in the river there, bud? Yeah, we desperately, desperately need more space. Oh, I think... Let's see. Might be too far. Yeah. But it should let me do this. And it's not. Let's try that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, because of this line, it will not let me zone on the other side. It'll only give me 2 of the zoning squares. So I think what we'll do is just zone this entire area and this. And then what I'll also do is delete this, bring it there, and it gives us back this zoning square. And then we'll fill the rest in commercial. There. Perfect. I think this is my favorite song on the Concerts DLC. It's very fun. So we spent some more money there, but now we're going to be able to get some more taxpayers in. So that will help. But I'm not going to zone on this side because I don't want to bump up against this and then have to rezone those houses later once we expand. You know? Now, what is... Oh, I thought I saw... Okay. So this is saying they're short of workers. That just means that we have a high residential demand and there's not enough people that are available to work. So, you know, that happens. Alright, I'm going to continue this road. What I'd like is for... I don't want to get all super wavy with it. Be nice to maybe just go like that. And then straight. Yeah, something like that. When we have a little bit more money, of course. Let's just pop us on the 3-speed. Wow, we're short on energy again. Goodness, goodness. Yeah, we definitely need to invest in a coal power plant because we're just way too short on power. Way too short. It can be tough in the beginning. It can be very hard, especially when you're coming from behind without money. So just to make it sort of fun, I think over here I'm going to have, instead of having the grid go straight up this way, I might have it go this way. Because why not? We can do whatever we want here. That looks straight-ish to me. I'm kind of eyeballing that. Make sure we get all the zoning squares. Perfect. That'll be kind of fun, because it'll at least differentiate the city a little bit here. And then maybe we go... let's go like that. And then like this. I'm going to delete that and leave that space there. I'm going to make sure that we have enough water. Remember, it's 440. I'm not going to spend all the money there. Now we can zone some more residential. I'm going to just do it along here. And I will do it along the avenue on this side, but not right up here. I think I may save that for either maybe a little bit of a green space right here to avoid having too much traffic. We'll see. I'm going to get... Well, I think for the purposes of this video, I'm going to take this $60,000 loan. Yay! And we're going to invest in some power. Some dirty, dirty coal. And I'm going to put it there. That will solve all of our issues. There. Now, our power is 72. We have 72 watts. We are using 41, though. I mean, it's crazy. We are growing very, very fast here. Very fast. But as you can see, the traffic itself is doing well, and that's because all this is localized traffic, and we don't have a lot of close intersections. Very, very important. I think this will look really nifty, because it'll kind of differentiate, you know, it won't be straight grids all the way across. You can have them going in different directions. Also, if you want to differentiate a neighborhood, it can be as simple as just having a road slash across. You know, just having one road slash, because it changes the angles of the houses, and maybe you zone a different direction. It really can be a huge changer, a huge game changer to things. And then adding curves and stuff as well. You'll find as you get further along in the game and start having some stuff being built, that it will become easier to make things look a little bit different, because you sort of have, you know, you'll run into roads and you'll run into things that you've already laid out that you're like sort of have to work around. So you'll find that is quite helpful. Okay, so maybe, how do I want to do this? I could keep with this sort of directional thing. Oh, there we go. We hit Boomtown. We get another area that we can purchase, although we don't really have money to do that at the moment. We also have transport. We officially have public transportation in the city. That we will tackle next time. So walking tours and bus tours, those and come with the brand new Park Life DLC. So people can do bus tours in your city to increase tourism, and you can also do walking tours. It's very, very cool. We'll tackle all that stuff. We get ore industry specialization, and we get some new policies. We also now have officially access to more roads, including bus lanes, highways, ramps, all those lovely, lovely things. We have water pipes with heating. We don't need that, though, because we are not playing on a snow map, which comes with Snowfall DLC, of course. We also now have death care needs. So people will now start dying, and we'll need to supply a cemetery for them to be buried. Some more our bus depot, trams. We get geothermal heating plant, which we won't need, or the boiler station, because we don't, again, we do not need hot water pipes here. Temperature is always generally over 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Some emergency shelters, those come with the disasters DLC. Now I don't have disasters turned on, which I believe I said that in the first video. But I do like the buildings, and we will plop them around as well. And we get ferries. Very cool. Excellent. That gives us a little bit of an influx of cash as well. Which, how much do I have left on this loan? $7,000. So I think I'm going to pay this so we can stop incurring our weekly cost. There we go. I'm not going to pay that one back yet, because we're going to need it. And we have generally pretty even demand across the board. So I think I'm going to continue doing it that way. have we decided about where we want the highway to go? So generally, you have to start at some point. You have to kind of start making some decisions on where you want some sort of infrastructure decisions, right? So where do we want the highway to go? You know, do we want it to branch this way? Do we want it to cut straight across? Do we want it to go straight? Let's turn right. You know, do we want more highway getting pulled? It's nice to start thinking about that stuff early, because things like highways and intense public transportation, like train rail and all of that stuff, that becomes harder to move later. Now, if you want to change a neighborhood up, right, I could delete all these roads and rebuild this neighborhood, and it's not really that impactful, especially later on when we have more money. Now it would be, because we don't have a ton of money or population. But you kind of want to make sure you're thinking about where your highways are going initially, because those just become a little harder to move. Now, again, like I said, you can move anything, anytime, anywhere. That is the beauty of this game. It just becomes a little bit more tedious depending on what you're trying to move, right? So, anyway, I'll step off my soapbox now about that. Let's build a couple more of these, and then I think we'll call it an episode. There we go. I kind of like this, actually. It's different. I've never really done anything like this, but I kind of dig it. It looks really cool. See, a little bit of a curve in your road, and then you can explore all new things. It's very, very lovely. Let's expand our water. Now, we're probably going to want some services over here as well, which we don't really have. But we'll take a look at that before we go. I think that's a good tip as well, is always come back and check on your services. Right? See what your power's at, see if your water availability is still good. Just kind of go down the line and see where you're at, right? The game will tell you. And you can kind of see where the pockets are, where you need it. Right now, garbage is okay. Healthcare is about 74%. I think getting between 75 and 80% on your healthcare is usually where you like to be. If you're below 70%, you probably need to put down some more clinics. But we also do need to put a cemetery down, because now we need some death care. I could actually put this here. And then we can just sort of beautify that around it by placing trees and such. I'm going to kill some of those houses, but I think that's going to be okay. So let's do it. Let's do it right there. There. Makes everybody happy. I don't think I want to zone there anymore. Sorry, house. Yeah, we'll make that a nice little park. So that people, the hearses will come out of here and pick up dead people and to bring them to the cemetery. And people get really happy about that. Do we have anything else that we unlocked? Oh, we still need to put a high school down. We do not have any high schools. Right. So see how when I click on elementary school, it shows me my elementary school availability. I can also click on it up here as well. When I click on high school, it shows me I have 0, right? And it's all gray. And then there's, of course, university. And it shows you how many students are eligible. So we have 619 kids who want to go to high school, and we don't have anything for them. So let's get a high school down. And I think maybe we'll put it in this area. Oh, interesting. I can't slide it in there, but I can just put it on this road. Great. And I think we should put some sort of a park along with the high school, sort of like we do in elementary school. Do a plaza, I guess. Oh, basketball court. Absolutely. Great. There we go. Very cool. Look, now it looks like it kind of belongs to the high school. Very, very excellent. And that will make all these people very, very happy because people love parks. I don't think I'm actually going to zone this now because the high school is right there. Probably fill that with some trees and things. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Well, everybody, I think that is going to do it for this episode. we fixed a lot of things in this episode. It got a little dicey, was a little hairy at times. We went up and down, but you know what? That is that's good. That's what we're here. That's what we're doing this. That's why we're doing this. We're learning and overcoming problems, you know, live, right? Not live. Overcoming problems. Well, live, I guess. I'm not doing any cutting, right? I'm not cutting around my problems. We're solving it actively, which is good. Active problem solving. That's what a tutorial video should be, I guess, right? Awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of City Skylines here in Vanilla Valley. I hope you all have a great week, the rest of the week, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.